So I was teaching a class today. I had a lady. We did some shoulder presses. We were using twos. She asked me, is this going to get rid of the flab under my arm? It's not. To which I had replied, it's not. I trained another girl earlier this week. Are doing these curls going to make me bulky? I don't want to look like a man. So this preconceived notion, or this misconception that lifting heavy weights makes you look bulky like a bodybuilder is totally unrealistic. It can never happen. You can't accidentally get bulky, and you can't accidentally look like a bodybuilder. Nor can you just pick up heavy things and then turn into that. It will not happen. It cannot happen. Bodybuilders got a bad name. They got a bad image. Thong wearing, slicked up, oil covered beauty pageant where you need approval from men to get a card. That's its own thing. That's a niche in fitness. It has absolutely nothing to do with fitness and everything to do with how big you are. That's it. Okay, so let's throw that away. That's old. Bodybuilding has become something strange. I don't want you to think bodybuilding and think of that. I want you to think, I'm lifting weights, I'm dieting, I'm a bodybuilder. I'm a bodybuilder. If you're training, you're a bodybuilder. We're building our body better. That's what that means. So scrap the whole stage idea. Schwarzenegger, that's not for us, okay? Lifting weights will absolutely not make you bulky. Seems like most people don't want to be confused with this idea of a bodybuilder, which actually seems sort of like a cop-out. You don't want to accidentally be mistaken for somebody that lifts weights. I don't see how that would be a bad thing unless you yourself actually don't know how to lift weights or you've never lifted. So we're not sure how it actually is supposed to go down. But that is some sort of scarcity mindset that has embedded itself into your head, and that you think that you don't want to look like that, when in reality, when you want to get rid of that flab, that means you need muscle tone. So to think that you don't want to get muscles because you don't want to get big, that's not an accurate way to think about human biology, okay? It doesn't work like that. So do not worry. If you're thinking like that too, Arnold said it himself. When somebody told me, I don't want to look like you, he said, don't worry, you never will. Because you have to will yourself to have such discipline and put in that much effort on your diet and your training. It cannot happen by accident. So do not worry about that, okay? And you absolutely would love to be mistaken for somebody who trains, right? You don't want to hide your arms because you're ashamed, or wear really baggy clothes because you hang over. Like, let's take ownership of that responsibility. Let's discipline our mind, our body, and our mouth, and then let's change that, because change occurs, and it can occur. Look at what a bodybuilder can do to themselves. Now let's take all that knowledge, fitness, training, and discipline and dedication, but we don't need to eat like those guys. We can still reap the benefits, because what you do want is to look good and be healthy and move well, right? So how do we do that? Solid weight training foundation, diet, dumbbells, and diet. Now, 95% of fat loss is diet. Working out, maybe it burns 100, maybe it burns 200 calories. You go run a mile, you're gonna burn 50 calories, okay? It's gonna take you 18 minutes to bike a donut off, going 15 miles per hour straight, right? So the exercise actually is very minimal on its impact to what it does to the body when we're trying to diet. So you have to lift weights. If you want to look tone and be sexy and healthy, you got to resistance train. There's no way to avoid that. So you have to resistance train, you have to use challenging weights, you have to put in effort. I need you to slightly fear coming to train. And I need you to feel like you barely survived your leg day or your training sessions when you come. Otherwise, we're not gonna get the intensity that we need to usher in the effect on your metabolism to change your body. If there's no challenge, there's gonna be no change. So using a 2-pound or 3-pound pink dumbbell and hoping that it's gonna work is not gonna work at all. It's mostly women who think like this too. And I'm not sure where that comes from. But some men do too. Some men think like that too. I don't want to look like that. But usually when a woman says that, it comes from a place of fear or just, not to be mean, but ignorance as to how human biology works and the differences between the genders. I'm sorry, but there are two. There's a man and a woman, okay? We're not talking about the spectrum, okay? When I train somebody, I have to decide what category you're gonna be in. And I know that might offend somebody, but in science, we call that a control group, okay? So before I can train you, I have to know what control group to put you in, okay? So don't argue with that. Science. Guys, when they say that, guys say they don't want to look like that because they're threatened. So I've had people go, oh, there's Brent, there's Mr. Six-Pack. I don't have a six-pack all year round. I mean, I'm probably sitting about 18% body fat, let's be honest. So you need to sit about, I was going to say 5. I want to say 8 to 10% before you really see your abs. Like, you got to really cut the fat down to see the abs. So, you know, I have a six-pack, yes. My abs are solid as hell, but I don't walk around like that. And the guy who said that was not in good shape. Scarcity-minded attitude. So that's a negative retort that people say. They throw it at you. It's like when you're on a diet and you're partitioning out your food, you're not diet-oriented family who doesn't give a damn about what they put in their mouth. They're going to ridicule you because you're trying to change yourself. And people who don't want that to happen will sabotage you at every opportunity they can. And I don't want to get bulky. That's your own ego sabotaging you from making a positive change. So we got to fix that, okay? You got to lift more than 2.5 pounds, and you can't just do aerobics. That will get you absolutely no results at all. Okay, so you can't just do cardio. You know, even if you walk 45 minutes, if you walk 4 hours, and you'll lose enough weight, you'll be what we call skinny fat, which means that you've lost weight, but you still have saggy skin. You still have considerable body fat because if you're not training with intensity, you'll burn the carbs in your bloodstream, carbs in your liver and your glycogen, and then you'll kind of stop there and you'll peter out. That's the difference between a sprinter and a runner. A runner is thin and lean. A sprinter is usually lean and bulky because they have big, strong muscles. When I say bulky, I don't mean bodybuilder bulky. I say bulky as in power. Okay? So, girls, you don't make enough testosterone. You make 1/20th of the testosterone a guy does. So there's no way possible that you'll ever look like a man. If this logic was true, every man who's ever set foot in a gym and picked up anything heavy would look like an amazing specimen of a man. But the fact is, they don't. So it does take concerted effort. And since flab, especially down here, flab is fat. So if we want to get rid of fat, we can't just do cardio. The lifting weights takes more caloric energy to sustain the effort than doing cardio. So you have to lift weights. Cardio is important, but it's a small fraction of the piece of the puzzle. When I first start training people, I always tell them to do cardio, 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 cardio. Sweat your ass off, literally. But that's only to get the discipline into their brain and get them in the habit of working out. Making the habit to do your cardio over and over and over it will transfer over when we start lifting weights. It's a good habit to get into. You burn calories, you get sweaty, you'll lose weight, you feel good, right? That's why we do it. Fat is flab. Flab is fat. Fat is energy. How do you get rid of energy? You go on a diet, you create a deficit, you lift weights, okay? Discipline and dedication builds muscle. If you want to get bulky and strong like a man and you're a woman, you got to take shots in your ass. They're called steroids. You got to do drugs. Hardcore to a normal person that doesn't train is not hardcore to a bodybuilder. Your hardcore is not hardcore to me, probably. There's like a 98% chance it's not. My hardcore might be easy for somebody else. Who knows? But if you're not used to training and you think lifting weights will make you bulky, your idea of hardcore is easy. Okay? I'm just gonna be straight. This is a totally different ball game than you're expecting. And you know, too long, didn't read. You want to skip the whole talk. Lifting heavy weights won't make you look like a man. You can't look like a man if you're a woman. If you try, you have to eat a lot, tons of carbs, work out 3 to 4 hours a day, and then take drugs, performance-enhancing drugs. By the way, the majority, I would say, of professional athletes, especially in the bodybuilding, fitness arena, drug users.